What is going on YouTube? DarkWorldMOFO here, and before I get into this video, I want to ask you guys to please give this video a thumbs up. Please, please, please. It helps me out so much. But anyway, let's get right into it, guys. This is round 4 of the YugiohTube Lord of the Tachyon free box tournament. And I am playing against Evil Shenron 3. And I didn't really have an idea what he was playing. But I didn't open it up in Ophion. So I summoned Thunderbird, set Compulse, and passed. And he completely passed his turn. I was like, okay, I wonder what he's playing. And he is playing Dragons. He passes his turn because he wants to blast through my guy. I chain my Eradicator, and I call spells because they play a lot more spells than traps. But sadly, I do not hit anything at all. So then he goes Rectane trying to get Redox. And I chain Max C, so I'm like, sure, I'll draw a card. It's not looking too good for me right now because I didn't know what he's going to do. But he ends up passing turn, and I'm like, okay, this is perfect. And then this is what happens. So on his end phase, I do the trap card, and I grab a Castor because I want to get my plays off. And then I draw and do another Castor. So I'm like, okay, this is awesome. I can special summon that, normal summon another Castor, compulse his Redox for game. So game 1 was taken by me very quickly, from having the compulse to get over his Redox, and now we are going into game 2. I doubled up this video just so you guys know, because I didn't want it to be 22 minutes long. I wanted it to be just around 11, and so I sided in Iron Walls, Vasky, Electric Virus, just really good stuff to side for Dragons. And in game 2, you guys can see that I don't open up very well. So he starts off with a Gold Sark, and I'm like, sure, go ahead. That's fine with me. He grabs a little burner guy, and then I'm pretty sure he pitches burner, pitches title, and goes and gets a big ass blaster on the field. Then he banishes those two and summons Redox, and then he's going to get title's effect to add Stream, I think. So he adds Stream. Then he overlays into a Dragosack, and I'm obviously going to Veiler that because I really don't have a way around it right now, unless I draw into a Castor. But sadly, I draw into a second vanilla, which is pretty terrible. So I summon the Thunderbird, set the Pandemic, and pass turn. And I chain Bird to his effective Dragosack, and then he uses his effect to destroy my back row. And I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Go ahead. And so he summons Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and I thought he was going to be able to kill me this turn. I think all he had to do was banish another one and summon something else, and he would have won, but he does not do that. He just attacks with both of them, and I'm like, okay, cool, so I live another turn. And then I draw into a safe zone, so I'm like, okay, I can stall this game out. So I set those two and pass, and so I'm like, hopefully he'll just attack right into my guy. Or, I mean, summon another guy, because Blaster returns. I hope he summons another one, and just attacks. And so then he goes and gets the big water guy title, and he goes Blaster, and I'm like, oh shit, this isn't looking good. And then he goes into Dragosack, so I'm like, okay, now he just has two guys on field. And I thought he was going to try to destroy my Heliotrope with his Dragosack, but he instead attacks with it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, I'll take the 650, and I'll take the 850. So I took that, so I'm now very low on health, and it's not looking too good for me. So I draw, and I draw into an Electric Virus, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, the ribs, it's so good. And so I was like, you know what, I'm taking his Dragosack. I gotta get over his Red Eyes Darkness Metal, and I can make an Ophion next turn. So I activate that, boom, boom, tribute off Dragosack, and to destroy the Red Eyes to get over him. He chains that, and he calls traps. I chain my Dress onto my face-up Heliotrope so he will not die from the safe zone, and then I normal summon my other Heliotrope, and I attack with both tokens, and then I make an Ophion, and I pass my turn. Or, no. This is where I'm contemplating on whether or not I want to search. I didn't know if he sided Space Cyclone. I know some people do. I don't think it's a very good side card. I know it's good sometimes, but for some reason I was scared of it right here, so I was contemplating on whether or not I should detach. And I think I finally do end up detaching, because it's just the smarter thing to do. So anyway, he goes and he takes my guy, and I'm like, okay, sure. And then he tries to activate Ophion's effect with no targets engraved, and I was like, hold on, dude. I really, really, really don't think you can do that. Because it didn't make sense. How are you able to detach? Sure, it's as a cost, but how are you not? How are you able to detach it but not activate it as an effect? So then we don't argue back and forth at all. He's like, I'm like, okay, I'll just ask some people I know. So I asked TCG Pirate Weasel. He's a former admin on here. He knows a lot about rulings. And he said, no, you cannot. I asked Giovanni de Morale. He knows a lot about the game. I asked him another one of my friends, Soji Seta, and they all said no. And while I was searching through that, he finally sees that you cannot do that because you have to have a valid target in your deck to activate an effect. And so TCG Pirate Weasel called me bad and said, no, you can't do that. And I wasn't the one who was saying you could. I was trying to say that you actually cannot do that. But shout out to my boy Pirate Weasel. He's a goofy ass kid. And so finally after a little bit, I decided to search it up on Google Wikia, so you guys see me switch to another window here in a minute. Because I really wanted to figure it out. I can potentially win this game if he can't go into his Gaia Charger guy and run over my tokens. And then I also realized earlier in the game that even though you technically can't do this now, I was thinking about it, and I realized that I shouldn't have gone into made the tokens when I Electric Virus's Dragossack. I know it is a safer play, and but I did realize that I'm only at, I think, 800 or 900 life points. And usually I don't really notice too many people playing Gaia Charger. I mean, I might not see it in their extra deck, or it might be in their extra deck, I just never see it come out, so I guess I kind of spaced out on that. And then finally right here, he's like, yeah, you're right, you can't do that. I'm like, okay, cool. And then he asks if he can take his then he asks if he can take it all back. I was like, yeah, sure, you kind of have to. And then he returned that. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, this is a tournament. He did technically activate the Electric Virus. I didn't want to act like a dickhead, because it is kind of a douchebag move to say, no, you have to do that, you did activate it. But I mean, then again, we are in a tournament, and it's single elimination, you know? I don't have any hard feelings toward the kid at all. I just kind of wanted to play the game how it's supposed to be played. He made a misplay by activating the Electric Virus, thinking he could detach, and I mean, you kind of got to pay for it. I know at a YCS or Nationals, if that ever happens, not a lot of people are going to let you have it back. So since this is a tournament, I treated it like it was a tournament. If it was a friendly duel, I would have been like, sure. But then the funny thing is, he had the Tsukiyomi anyway to book a moon the Ophion, and then he had the Gaia Charger anyway, so he had game regardless, which was kind of silly of him to ask if he could take it back, because it really didn't make a difference, honestly. And I say, okay, you got the game, that's fine. And then we're going into game 3, guys. This is it. Luckily, I'm going first, and this is the moment of truth, man. This is the last game. This is round 4. We're both undefeated right now. The winner of this goes into the finals. After this, there's only one more. There's only one more round until you have to play the creator himself, and it's going to be awesome. Regardless of who's in the finals, I'm going to be recording it. And anyway, so let's see what I start off with. A really good hand, actually. I go Ophion, Pandemic, the Trap card, and Imperial Iron Wall. And I was like, please, please do not have the heavy right now. Please do not have the heavy right now. That's all I cared about right now, honestly. And I noticed that he sets 3 and passes. And I'm like, oh shit, this is awesome. I think I have game. So I go Infestation to grab a Castor, because I love the Castor Kirkion play when you have an Ophion on field is just ridiculous. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put some damage on the field. And so I detached for Ophion, and I grabbed another Pandemic just in case he had something to chain, like 2 Torrentials or something. So I summoned Castor, he said that's fine. Summoned Kirkion. I said effect, and I banish, and he breakthrough skills it, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to chain my Pandemic on that, because I have another Pandemic. So I chain it, and I banish that, and I add a Castor to my hand. And I'm like, okay, I can summon this and attack for a ton of damage, and right here you see me pausing on the screen, and it's because I took out my calculator on my phone and I did the math. And after all of it, he'd be at 350 life points. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to attack for all of it, and see if he has any responses to any of the attacks, and it puts him at 350, and right here I'm like, oh my god, dude, do I go into a second Ophion and play it safe, or do I go into Cowboy and try to win the game? Because if I know the Cowboy is the right play to always push for game, but it is game 3 and I wanted to play it safe. And let's say he drew into the Heavy Storm next turn and my Iron Wall is gone, and then all I have is a Cowboy and Ophion on field with no attachments. He would have just fucking killed me. So I said, fuck it, man. I went into Cowboy and he said GG, and I was so happy, guys. I won. I am in the finals of the Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 Lord of the Tachyon box tournament. Please check out all the things in the description below. I'm so happy that I won this round, guys. I really want to win this entire thing for you, to show you all that Evilswarms are a great deck, and I'm really happy that I am 4-0 right now in this tournament, going into the finals. Then the finals, I have to beat that person, and then I'm playing the creator, my good friend Amir Mullet, guys. So please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. This video is coming to an end here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really glad you guys are all here watching all my videos, and I really hope you enjoyed this one in particular. So guys, like I said, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. As always, this video is coming to an end. Me and him just talked for a while, just a little bit. He was showing me his hand, I was showing him his hand. Nothing too special, but I'm really happy I took the risk of going into Cowboy, because it worked out. And I did notice that even if I went into the other Ophion, he had, or no, you know what he would have done, or you know what, I don't really know if he had any way out of a second Ophion either. His hand was really bad. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. DarkWorldMOFO out.